Hi, my name is Vicki, and I'm here to just share my testimony and the ways that God has been working in my life in the last few weeks, and the amazing discovery that I've had that He's actually been building this plan for months without me even knowing. And it's really been an incredible experience that's not over yet. Still in the midst of it. But this study that Scott had brought up to me a few weeks back about dedicating time to go together to the cross during this whole season of Lent. I never knew what would be happening as I was in the midst of this incredible women's group that has become an unstoppable source of strength and power and insight and clarity and everything I have been gaining over the last few weeks. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I've noticed in the workbook that we've been using that completely related to everything that was going on as God was starting to speak and answer some prayers that I have been not only praying alone with, but also, had this amazing group of women, family, friends that were praying as well for me, my family, my children. God started speaking and answering the prayers. At first, I'm not hearing it, and then realizing as it keeps pressing and pressing, oh, this is actually God telling me that this is what needs to happen. But he was making something so unbelievable happen in my child's life that needed to happen for so long that it kind of took me a minute to realize that this was really actually happening, whether we were ready for it or not. And I definitely would not have had the strength to get through each step of what needed to get through without having others praying with me. Breaking old habits of trying to do everything by myself and reading through the pages, saying, you are not alone at the end of this study that just really hit me. Being able to see what I put at the beginning of the pages of this book about letting go of control, releasing, praying that through this study I would be able to make more time for prayer and more time for reflection. Seeing what God was saying in these pages about there being freedom found when we pursue God's will above all else, and when we ask God to help us make decisions and ask Him to draw near. My child would not have been able to make the decisions that they made without God really working on their heart and moving them in the way that they did. And then having me be able to be surrounded by strong women who helped me break the pattern of wanting to jump in and holding me back in a very gentle but persuasive way to let Him go through the process that He needed to go through in order to get this work done that God saw so long ago. It's incredible to look back and see that God was taking all those steps and making all of that happen without me even knowing or being aware of any of it. And being able to get to the week in this booklet that talks about don't worry and trust God. It's been something that's been super difficult to not do. Worrying and thinking and the whole part about uncertainty, where you're certain about God but uncertain where things are going, and it's hard to not worry. And every time I felt that coming up the last few days, the last couple of weeks, really learning through my group that instead of worrying or keeping it to myself, put it straight into our group prayer chat and have everybody praying for it at once. And seeing how God just removed the obstacles that were coming, one, and then another, and another. Or me feeling that I just wasn't strong enough to keep going and to face this and to continue this and to see it to the end. And Him just constantly putting somebody there or taking away that obstacle for me and for my child, even though we're apart, but working on a common goal. It's just been an incredible experience. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen when my child comes back and we're back together again, seeing what God is going to be doing in that moment. Because once this part is over, I know His work is not done and there's more to come. Instead of worrying, now I'm starting to feel like, this sense of excitement about seeing what's next. And finally being able to just turn it all over to Him. And that if I did not have this group and these friends, these family, members that I was able to share this with, and I had to go through this alone, would have definitely not had the outcome that it's been having. It's this amazing revelation that all of us have been, receiving, and these amazing gifts from God, and Him giving clarity and clearing obstacles and making a path. And I'm just really grateful, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. Thank you.